Okay, I'm back. I thought I had all my props, but I didn't. We're talking about pants. That first year I bought a really nice expensive pair of, I think these are Columbia or North Face. They're mountain hardware, that's what they're called. They're basically just a microfiber pair of pants. It's a thin, lightweight material. There's no lining in them, but what's cool is that they zip off at the knees, so you can wear them as shorts or you can wear them as pants, either one. And they're rugged. Last episode I was talking about pants falling down. I got these at a size 36 and I was a size 34 waist by the time the trip was over. So I have to keep these cinched up with my belt. So anyway, this is a great pair of pants to trek in the cooler temperatures, because as it gets warmer and the sun comes out, just take off the bottoms of the legs, use them as shorts, or just keep using them as jeans, or those long pants rather. And these are great for trekking and hiking in. All right. At the highest altitudes, a thicker trekking pant is advisable. As we get above 15,000 feet, it's going to be cold even during the day, probably down to the 40s and 50s. It could be in the 30s if there's no sun out to keep us warm during the day. So this is a thicker pair of pant. It's actually got kind of a lining on the inside. So this type of pant is really great for high altitude, and these are the kind of pants that you see people in all the trekking and base camp photos and stuff. Problem with this type of clothing, though, is it doesn't breathe very well. So one of the worst things that can happen up there is that you walk all day, you sweat, and your pants or your shirt, whatever, don't breathe the moisture out, and then you stop, and all that moisture is trapped in here, and it gets cold, and then you catch cold, you start sneezing and coughing, and you become miserable with a respiratory infection. So the key is to stay dry. These pants are great for staying warm, but they're not great for staying dry. So if you do choose to bring a pair of these, then just make sure that you're trekking them on a day that you're not going to be in them for 12 hours a day. You're going to be in them for maybe 5 or 6 during a half-day trek as opposed to a full-day trek. And if you stop, take them off, let them air out and dry out, and then put them back on again. Just remember, stay dry. That's the key. Side note, if I bought these in the U.S., they probably would have been about $200. We'll call this a generic brand, air quotes, that I just happened to pick up somewhere up on the mountain. They're not exactly name brand. I think I paid $30 for them, and they've held out for 3 years. Why do I bring that up? You're going to forget stuff, and as you forget things, it will be available up on the mountain. If you forget shoes, let's say you bring the wrong kind of shoes, or your shoes break, you can buy other trekking shoes up there. If you forget poles, or you forget a hat, forget glasses, you can buy all the stuff on the mountain, and it's not going to break your bank. So, what else? What's next? Okay, sleeping bags. You will have the opportunity to rent a sleeping bag from Rajan. I believe I said $30. It might be $40, but I think it's $30. You'll rent a sleeping bag, but I suggest you buy either from him or on your own a silk liner. It's just one more layer to put inside the sleeping bag. It keeps you extra warm at those high altitudes when you're at 30-degree temperatures. Having a silk liner in your sleeping bag, best investment at night because you're going to be cold at night. All right, these are $3, maybe $5 microfiber Fruit of the Loom long underwear. I picked up 2 or 3 pairs of these 2 years ago. Love them. Wear them during the day. Wear them at night in my sleeping bag. Kept me warm throughout the expedition. All right, here's another windbreaker, like the yellow one I showed you earlier. Same thing, just in black. All right, I've yet to use this, but I'm happy I bought it. This is one of the few things that I bought like really nice. Bought at Sports Authority for $40. It's a Columbia waterproof, lightweight windbreaker. So this one is for when it's raining really bad out and you want to stay dry as you're trekking up the trail. So this is the one expensive thing that I bought for $40, which I haven't used yet because it hasn't been really rainy, but I'm going to keep this with me just in case. All right, next thing. These are cool. This is just little pullovers that I picked up in Kathmandu. I think I got paid $10 for this little cotton pullover. When you land in Kathmandu, you're going to be brought to a little suburb of Kathmandu called Tamil, and that's where the hotel is going to be, and that's where all your shopping is going to be prior to going into the mountain. So at all the little shops, you can barter. I think they asked $15 for this, and I got it for $10. They accept US dollars, so you can change dollars over to rupees, or just keep US dollars. You can buy everything you need with US dollars, so don't worry about that. Worst thing you could do is exchange thousands and thousands of rupees and then not spend them, and then come home with $500 in rupees that you're not going to be able to use again. So dollar bills work out there just fine. If you want to exchange for rupees, awesome. If not, it's not a huge issue. Okay, great. So again, like I said, I paid $10 for this, and they wanted $15. These are great. Here's an expensive pair of microfiber underwear that I got from Patagonia, bottoms and tops. I think I spent $40 for the tops, $40 for the bottoms. Had them for 6 years, so they were definitely worth the money I spent on them. But I wouldn't do it again. This is one of Mama Noonan's knit caps. This is one she made me a few years ago. So I wear this one when I go to sleep at night. I kind of stretch it out so when I go to sleep, I can put it down over my eyes, keep the light out if there is any, and then it keeps me warm in the middle of the night. We're going to be walking by the Ferry-Shea. Hold on. The Himalaya Rescue Association is in Ferry-Shea at 15,000 feet, so hopefully we'll get a chance to walk by it. I believe we will. So you guys can score this awesome souvenir shirt. You pay 20 bucks to support the association, and you get this great, cool shirt. So I love this shirt. It's really sweet. Isn't that cool?
That's nice.
Yeah, it's a sweet shirt. So that's awesome. Okay, what's next? This is a lightweight microfiber windbreaker type thing. Somehow I picked this up somewhere. Someone got this for me. I probably won't bring it with me because I've never worn it, but it came back in my bag, so somebody picked this up for me. All right, what's next? This is just a long sleeve cotton shirt. It's a thick cotton. They tell you don't wear cotton up there. Don't wear cotton socks, don't wear cotton underwear, don't wear cotton t-shirts, don't wear cotton long sleeve shirts. The reason why they tell you not to do that is because you sweat. I'm actually sweating now as we speak with all these lights on me as I'm doing this. So the idea is that when the cotton sweats, it gets wet, and it gets cold, and when it gets cold, you get sick. So I'm here to tell you that it's okay if you choose to bring cotton with you, whether it's a long sleeve cotton shirt, short sleeve cotton shirt, cotton underwear, cotton socks, cotton whatever. However, you have to make sure you're really involved with moisture management. You got to make sure you're staying dry. And if that means bringing a second pair of socks with you because you want to wear cotton and you want to change your socks halfway through your walk because your current socks are all sweaty and stinky, that's a good thing to do. If you want to wear a long sleeve cotton shirt, have a second one in your backpack so when you stop and your back is soaking wet, and it will be, it'll be like you fell in a pool, you're soaking wet, you can take off that soaking wet shirt, air out for a second, put a dry one on, and then finish your walk. Because if you try to keep walking with that wet t-shirt or wet undershirt, and you have a windproof layer over you that keeps all the moisture in, guess what? You're going to get sick and you're going to be miserable. So, again, I'm just giving you all the facts and all the experiences I have. What else? Another pair of Fruit of the Loom. This is a thicker long underwear. This is something I would wear at the higher altitudes in my sleeping bag. Yeah, this is what I'm going to go to sleep in at night, in my long underwear, in my silk liner, in my sleeping bag above 15,000 feet. Okay. Should have a light pair of gloves. I bought these on the mountain for like $10 or $15. They're called wind stoppers. It's just a light fabric type glove. You can still have finger dexterity, but it will get windy and your knuckles and your hands will get cold, so have a nice light pair of gloves to wear. Okay, more long underwear. Okay, what's this? Running pant, like cotton running pant, long underwear from New Balance, same thing. They all accomplish the same thing. All right, showed you that, showed you that, showed you that. Okay, so what else? All right, a couple other things while we're at it. Take off it. All right, so. All right, what's next? Bandanas. Go to Walmart. I should get sponsored by Walmart. Go to Walmart. These are $1. Get them in multicolors, whatever. Bandanas are awesome. Bandanas are awesome because 1, they can keep your sun off your head. 2, it's really dusty while you're there, so that same bandana can get turned into a mask. So you can put it around your face while you're walking. You'll see people trekking with bandanas around the face to keep the dust off. So it's just good to have bandanas around. Keep the sun off your head. Use it as a mask, and I guess you could even use it as a handkerchief. But anyway, so that's a bandana. So I bring a bunch of bandanas with me. In Tamil, the little village, you'll see these scarves. Same thing with the scarves. Okay, you'll see a lot of us wearing scarves. It's not a fashion statement as much as having the scarf is awesome when it gets really sunny. We just pull it out over us, and now it keeps the sun off of us. If it gets really dusty, same thing with the scarves here. Keeps the dust out, and it's just really good to have a couple of these. And these, I think, are $1 or $2. So we get our scarves, more hankies. If you haven't filled up your bag yet with all your stuff, yeah, sometimes I bring a pair of pajamas with me. Just regular flannel pajamas for the higher altitudes, although this year we're going Patriots, I think. So this year I'm going to bring my Patriots pajamas. Just a light pair of flannel pajamas. All right, so, and then again, this is just more stuff like light cotton, which we already talked about cotton. This is just a light cotton layer. More bandanas, bandana. Okay, here's something to talk about. Under Armour. Okay. Under Armour, there's hot wear and cold wear. Okay. I don't care if you wear it or not. It doesn't breathe very well in the sense that it's a tight fitting fabric. So it's basically, when it gets hot and cold, it doesn't really do temperature moderation very well. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So here's like a thin layered Under Armour shirt that I would typically wear, but it's light, it actually breathes, and it's not super snug on me when I'm wearing it. Okay. This is a cold gear, like super thick Under Armour. I'm going to bring these this year to kind of test them. I've never trekked with the thick cold gear stuff, but I'm going to bring it this year. I'm not sure how it's going to work, but we're going to bring it up there and try it out. So we got thick and thin Under Armour stuff, but just be mindful that when you're wearing the stuff that's form-fitting, it can feel constricting, especially at hot temperatures. So there's the matching pants for that. More bandanas. I like the Bandana King here. Okay. Lightweight pajama bottoms from Walmart, $5. Another Rashi. Another long underwear. Okay, so that covers all that. All right, now this is an important one. So if I'm losing you, here's an important one. Okay, what footwear do I wear? First couple of years, I went in my Timberlands. Okay, big, thick, clunky boots. They accomplished everything I needed them to accomplish. They kept my feet warm. They kept my feet dry, and I didn't have any ankle issues. You will roll an ankle while you are trekking on this trail. Whether that rolling an ankle injures you or not depends on your ankle support. We are going to be traveling on loose gravel, rocks, and things like that. You're going to step on something that's going to roll your ankle at some point in time. Having good ankle support is a must while we're trekking. So the Timberland boot, while big and heavy, is still an excellent choice. Although as you get to the higher altitudes, that extra weight can kind of weigh on you, no pun intended, can kind of grate on you as you're trying to lug those big boots up the mountain. So first few years, use these. They were awesome. Recent change for me, I moved to Belugas from Merrell. Okay, this is a lower ankle support than the Timberlands, but you will see a lot of people up there with this type of boot as well. Now, the primary difference beyond just the ankle support is that these are more breathable, which is good at lower altitudes, keeps your feet drier. However, when you get above 15,000, 16,000 feet and it gets cold in the morning, you can actually feel the cold on your feet wearing these, whereas the Timberlands, the leather type boots tend to keep your feet warmer. So it's a trade-off. I like to be light and move quick, so I suffer having slightly cold feet in the morning with these boots now as opposed to the Timberlands, just because, one, these are smaller, they're lighter, easier to just stick in a bag, and I don't like to thump around with my big Timberlands anymore. But either one is fine. Okay. So what other shoes should you bring up there? Well, these flip-flops are $1.50, I think $2 at Walmart. Why would you want a $2 pair of Walmart flip-flops? You want a $2 pair of flip-flops because these are your shower flip-flops. There will be hot showers up there for the most part. There'll probably be 2 or 3 days without showers, but for the most part, you'll be able to shower just about every day you're there. A lot of these showers on the trail, not dirty, but they're outside. They're these little sheds outside the building. So you're going to have to walk out of your room, down to the shower, get your 5 or 10 minute hot shower, quicker the better, probably a 5-minute shower, and back out and then back up to your room. Don't want to do it barefoot for 2 reasons. One, there's yak poop everywhere, and you don't want to step on that because it's gross. And 2, you just want to try to keep your feet as clean as possible regardless of what you're stepping in. So going into the showers, it just kind of keeps your feet clean from catching any other foot diseases from other people. So you're going to want to have just a lightweight throwaway pair of flip-flops, keep them for the week, bring them home, and you get a funky souvenir. But definitely bring a pair of shower flip-flops. Once you get to where you're going each day, you're going to trek for a few hours, probably 4 to 8 hours each day. When you get to where you're going, you can chill out and relax. And a lot of the places you go, there'll be things to do at that little destination. So rather than have to clunk around in your clunky boots all day, once you get to, say, Napchi Bazaar or to Le Boucher or wherever you are, if you just want to kind of just walk around the little village, bring a pair of sneakers, okay? I bring my Vans because actually I skydive in these two of them up there. So I bring 1 pair of comfortable sneakers, Vans. And if it's just an hour trek during the day and it's a flat place where I already know I'm going, I've been there before, I might walk in my sneakers. I like to have the option. But when you've got to where you're going, after you've taken off your boots and your feet are all swollen because you walked all day, it's good to put on a comfortable pair of either sneakers, or a couple of people have brought like slippers with the booty bottoms on them. So if you're going to have slippers to just lounge around in, whatever. But that's it. So 1 good pair of trekking boots, 1 good pair of sneakers, because when you're in Kathmandu as well, you can walk around in your sneakers. your shower flip-flops, and if you still have room in your bag and you brought Tevas, whatever, the Tevas work up there too. All right. Next thing, let's see here, almost done. Next thing, bring flags, bring stuff. Even when you're at base camp, you're going to want to take pictures and stuff. I've had this. Oops, I've had this flag for I think 6 years now. So I bring this up to base camp with me every year. So we'll have this up there for everybody to take pictures with. So we'll get the team members up there. But if you have flags, like if you're sponsored by somebody or your drop zone, get your drop zones T-shirt, whatever. Bring cool stuff to take pictures with up there of at base camp along the way. Bring a towel. Bring a big towel, like a shower towel. This is a little towel. This is just a little hand towel that I bring with me. So I bring a hand towel and a shower towel. Where you go, you shower, then you let it hang and dry all night, and you throw it in your bag the next day. They may or may not have towels for you where you go, but it's always good to have at least one towel and one little hand towel or a face cloth, because you might just be washing your face at the end of the day. All right, I also bring a pair of just running shorts, just like comfortable, like workout shorts, because there are going to be times when it's warm out, you are where you are, and you just want to sit in something comfortable, and cotton shorts just aren't going to do it. So one pair of gym shorts just to kind of lounge around in, especially if you have a day off and you just want to sit and acclimate, because there will be at least one day to just chill and do nothing but sleep and acclimate. You can have a pair of gym shorts on. All right, now what about, what's next? That's just another pair of gym shorts. Nope. 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 What am I missing? What am I missing? Oh, okay. Let's talk about hats. You're going to want to have a hat on to keep sun off your nose. So, of course, go Red Sox. No Yankees hats, if any, but no kidding, you can wear a Yankees hat. You want a baseball hat. I like this hat. It's like a bucket hat that I wear because it keeps the sun off of my nose and my ears. So my ears stay sun-free and my nose stays sun-free. So that's one of my favorite trekking hats. All right. Now, last but not least for clothing, let's talk about my underwear and my socks. Told you cotton socks aren't really recommended. I've been doing it for 6 years now, wearing them up there 6 or 7 years. So this is typically what I trek in with my Merrells. I wear the no-show cotton socks, and when I get to where I'm going, I take them off, let them dry out, and I put on a dry pair. I just like trekking in cotton socks, just more comfortable. Plus, they pack up nice and small when you put them in your bag. What else is there? I'm almost done.
All right.
What else? All right, so we talked about the ankle socks, no shows. Okay. Wool socks are popular, especially at the higher altitudes, so I bring 1 or 2 pairs of wool socks. And you can wash your clothes pretty much everywhere you go. You just stick it in the sink, wash it with a little bit of soap. And if you want to bring a little like trekking detergent, bring that, wash it, hang it, it's good for the next day. So here are some wool trekking socks. Here's a thicker gauge wool trekking sock. I don't bring these with me anymore because I don't like trekking in thick socks. It's just not comfortable, but some people do, so this is thicker socks. When you get up there, you'll have the opportunity to buy yak hair or yak wool socks. These are great not for trekking. They're terrible for trekking. But when you get to where you're going and your feet are cold, or when you want to sleep at night in the 30-degree temperatures, you throw on a pair of yak socks, keep your feet toasty warm. Okay. All right, here's a little neck warmer that doubles as a hat. So I keep this with me, my Skydive Ireland neck warmer / hat. Pull it down, keeps me warm. Okay. What's next? Oh, buffs. If you guys ever heard of buffs, just like bandanas, same thing, same concept. Pull over your head. It's like a sock with no top to it, so you can pull it over your head. Use it as a neck warmer. Use it as a mask. Keep the dust out, or you can just keep it on top of your head. Keep the sun off the top of your head. So these buffs are really cool. Excellent to have 1 or 2 of those. All right, so let's talk about underwear. You guys get to see my underwear. Awesome. So these are $3 microfibers from Walmart. These work perfect because they wash and dry real quick. So microfiber underwear is good. Cotton underwear from Walmart works just as well. Oh, here's the other yak sock. Microfiber boxers, awesome. And here's the coolest of the underwear, the most expensive pair. This is the high-end microfiber underwears. These are like the You only need 2 pairs of them. You wear one, wash the other kind of thing. Who makes these? EXFFICIO. Exofio or something. Anyway, so these I got at the trekking store. They were really expensive, but they work great. So you have multiple underwear options: cotton, microfiber, cheap, or expensive microfiber and expensive cotton. Doesn't matter, just as long as you're dry. That's the important thing. Keep moisture off of you. Okay, it's another pair of pajamas. All right, and last but not least, in terms of socks, here's another pair of just wool socks. I typically walk in cotton socks. Haven't had any issues with them, but wear whatever you want. Just be mindful of what I'm telling you. Okay, a few last things before I go. It's almost dinner time here in our world headquarters, Everest Skydive World Headquarters. Water bottles. Nalgene bottle, awesome. Definitely invest in an Nalgene bottle, but if you don't, that's okay too, because water will be available in water bottles everywhere we go. Typically big, large, liter-sized water bottles for $1.50, $2. So water is easily drinkable out of its own bottle, or put it in an Nalgene bottle, or put it in a hydro flask. Some Vigil from last year. So you get hydro flask option. These are cool because you can clip them to your backpack with a little carabiner. All right, light, headlamps. Sorry, headlamps. You need a headlamp, so in the middle of the night when you have to get up and pee, you'll be able to put that over your head and see where you're going. So at least have a headlamp. I bring 2 because I'm a skydiver, so I have a main and a reserve. So when one breaks, I have the other one. Don't need 2, but I tend to. I like to have multiple ones. All right, I'm not Tesla. It's not my last name. I don't know anything about electricity. I just know how to plug stuff in and turn it on. But when we go to Europe, we need to use adapters. So these are 2 different adapters that I got from Best Buy. I just made sure that they said Nepal and Asia on the boxes that I bought, and they've worked just fine. These 2 little adapters go in, so just make sure you have the right adapters if you want to charge cameras and your video cameras and your iPhones and MP3 players. Have some place secure to put your passport and your important stuff when you're on the road. You don't have to keep it like around your neck or tied to you. It's not that kind of place, but having a secure place to keep all your important documents so that you don't lose them. It's important. Bring a journal because you're going to want to make a lot of notes while you're up there and write down all the stuff that you see. So bring a journal. Bring sunblock. I do SPF 15. I'm Irish. I can't really do too much more than that though, because 30 and above that doesn't really do anymore. So 15 works for me. I don't tan, I just burn. So keep sunblock with me. And okay, earphones for your iPod. Bring an iPod or an MP3 player because there's gonna be a lot of walking. These are $8 at these are JVC. They're called gummies. They're $8 at Walmart. I buy 2 pairs because I usually break or lose 1 pair on up there, so I always have a backup on the mountains. One thing you don't want to have to replace up there is headphones. What else? Anything else? What am I missing? Alright, I've basically just taken you guys into my luggage. You've seen everything from my socks and underwear to my overcoats and jackets and hats and everything. So hopefully that explains the basics of what to bring to Nepal when you come out for this expedition. I am really excited to have everybody come out here and be a part of this. This is the first time we're doing something different here. It's never been done before. We're taking a group of 11 people, plus me makes 12. We're all friends, we're all skydivers, we all know each other, and we're going to go trek to the top of the world together. I'm very excited and honored to be able to be a part of this, and you guys wanted to come up and do this with me. I'm very happy, and if you have any questions or any issues, anything you want to know about between now and then, please let me know, and yeah, we'll go from there. And if I can think of anything else that I missed, although I just dumped out my entire laundry basket in front of you guys, if I think of anything I missed, I will let you know, but that's basically it. Comfort, dry, and warm. Those are the 3 things you want to think about. Being comfortable, break in your shoes before you go out there. Be dry, have multiple changes of clothes, things like that. And warm. The higher altitudes, there's nothing more miserable than being cold. Okay, you're going to have sleeping bags provided. I think it's $30 or $40 from Rajan when we get there. The winter jackets, the down ones, they're great, but at the highest altitudes, even they might be a little bit too cool, or not warm enough at the highest altitude. So if you have that one, you want to make sure you layer, and yeah, and just make sure you stay hydrated up there. Drink a lot of fluids, and we'll talk about all this when we get up there. Between now and then, next 3 weeks, get some cardio on. Do some walking, do some jogging, work on your cardiovascular, because we are going to be walking approximately 72 miles round trip. from 8,000 feet up to 17,400 feet and back again. So we're going to have a lot of exercise up there. So get a head start now, and I'll see you guys in a few weeks in Kathmandu. Namaste.